Hi, Namaste. Thank you so much first for your interest in my online classes. And in this video, I would like to introduce you the material which you would need to take part in the classes and also the practicalities of the online participation in the Zoom calls. So, well, let's start. First of all, if you are going to participate in the classes as a recordings, obviously you would not need basically anything except of your mobile phone or your laptop or your computer or TV set to watch the video. And I really mean that except for that, you don't need anything. If you don't have a yoga mat, that's not a problem. If you have a carpet or maybe a big towel, you absolutely can practice on them. Yoga mat is quite a new concept. Yoga mats did not exist 100 years ago, and if you see older videos, you would see people practicing on some towels or textile pieces, and that's absolutely fine. But obviously most of us prefer yoga mats in the modern days, so I have some tips about them. And the very first tip is about the thickness of the mat. Maybe you're doing sports and maybe you have a fitness mat. They're usually about 1 centimeter thick. And for some practical reasons, for yoga it's not very suitable thickness. Of course, you can still practice, no problem. Two things. One thing is standing balances are more difficult on them because the surface is really unstable. And second thing is when you are putting your hands, your wrists might sink in really deep into that mat, so you have a lot of pressure. And if your fingers are not strong enough to really distribute all the pressure, it can be that with the time your wrists might get pain in them. Might or might not, it's all individual. But these are the 2 points why I would consider to have a yoga mat instead of a thick mat. We're balancing a lot in yoga on our feet, but also sometimes in the hands. Even in a downward facing dog, we are on our hands. So, more or less standard thickness of a yoga mat is 5 millimeters. It's like that one. And there are 3 millimeters, which are considered more or less travel mats or close to travel mats. So maybe 5 millimeters is the best. I'm used to 3 millimeters. Obviously, thicker mats are comfortable for your knees because they can hurt when we're putting pressure on them. To solve this problem, there is this standard thing of when you are on your knee, you are double folding your mat, putting your knee on the double of the thickness of the mat. And the other very common support is a blanket, of which I will talk later. The material of the mat is really a personal preference. I would say that cork, for example, I find it quite slippery in the beginning when the hands and the feet are not so sweaty. But many people really prefer cork because of its really nice surface. If you are keeping the mat at home, it really doesn't matter because you are not carrying it with you. Cork mats or also these rubber mats, they tend to be thicker not thicker, denser and heavier than the like foamy plastic mats like this one. That's not that heavy actually. So yeah, you will figure out by yourself. There are a lot of ways to buy yoga mats nowadays. All the sports online shops have them. There are also specified, really like specific yoga shops to buy stuff online. You can also go into a physical shop in the city. If you need some names, you can write me a message and I will give you some names, some tips. All right, so there is another thing which I really like to practice yoga with, and I suggest that you would buy them. So these are the yoga blocks. Yoga blocks are so useful because they allow you to get into some poses easier, but they also can allow you to get into some poses deeper into them if they are not deep enough for you. You can also sit on the blocks like I'm doing right now. And basically I always practice with the blocks. When I use them, I can lift my body a bit higher so I can breathe more freely. I feel more freedom and comfort in a pose without the pose losing its useness. So the blocks, they are either foam or they are cork. I like the cork because they're very stable and they feel nice. At the same time, they're heavier. And the foam blocks, they have an advantage that they are a bit softer, so you can put them on a side and use them sometimes as a wedge. So they really stick into the ground and you can put pressure. For example, sitting on a block using it as a wedge is easier if it's a foam block and not a cork one. Again, they are like, especially the foam corks are so cheap nowadays. And yeah, if you would buy, like, except for the mat, one thing for yoga, that's a pair of blocks. And then one thing which you must probably have at home anyways is a kind of a blanket. And blanket is a really multifunctional tool for yoga practice because you can fold it in different ways, you can open it in different ways, so it has all the different thicknesses. The blanket, you can use it again for your knees, for example, if the knee is hurting, but you can also roll the blanket and sit on it. You can also put the rolled blanket, for example, under your ankles, or when you are lying and your head is kind of too far away and your neck is getting really short, so you can put a blanket, like a really small cushion, and it immediately lengthens your neck. So don't underestimate the blanket. The only thing is that if it is cotton like this one, or maybe some like military style blankets, they really keep their thickness under pressure, and that's a nice feature. If the blanket becomes really soft and gets thinner when you put pressure on it, that's the only like disadvantage, okay? So a blanket which keeps its thickness, so you can control the thickness by folding or opening the blanket. Obviously, there are many more things which are useful or can help you. for example, straps, or for sitting, there are so many beautiful meditation cushions you can sit on. There are also very flat cushions which you can use in addition to a blanket, or so many more accessories. If you like them, if you know how to use them, please do. But otherwise, basically, as I said, you don't even need these things, not even a mat, to start and to practice. Obviously, these things, they help. Well, then if you watch and do the classes in recording, then that's basically all you need. But if you practice with me live, then there are some other things to consider. So the classes, they take place in Zoom. I guess everybody knows Zoom in a while. And they will be recorded through Zoom as well. I would like you to turn your camera on practicing live. There are two reasons for that. The first reason is that if you're practicing with me, most probably you know me personally anyways, or online in some degree. And I really appreciate a personal connection. I really like to see you. I really like to feel connected. The second reason is that when I see you, I can estimate if you have it in a useful way, like a pose, or if I can say something additionally, give an additional cue, so that the pose is more effective for you and also for the others. So when you have your camera on, obviously you are filming yourself practicing. And there are some points to consider which will be very helpful. So point number one is, most probably you will not have enough space, so you can put your camera or laptop so far away that it will film you, like all of you, when you're standing. So please tilt your camera the way that it shows the mat and the lower part of your body. It doesn't matter if I don't see your upper body and the head. Of course, I would love to see your face, but it's more useful for me to see your feet and legs and the pelvis. The other thing is the light. So please don't turn, or don't put yourself the way that there is a window behind you, if possible. It's really difficult when I see only a silhouette of you. The details, they are just gone. Maybe generally light which is like at least showing like some things. In summer it's less a problem, but in winter sometimes the light is really dim and it's not easy to get everything, especially if there are several people and I see only a small screen and small tiles of everything, and cannot figure out like what am I seeing. Well, so basically that's all of the most important things. I really look forward to practicing with you. I really look forward to the classes, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out and to ask me. Namaste.